Hello and welcome to busyworksbeats.com. I have a new course called Melody Mastery, and I'm going to show you in real time how to go crazy with these melody ideas and concepts. Firstly, we're going to do a 2-5-1. So again, the course is at busyworksbeats.com/melody mastery. I'll leave a link below. Let me show you guys the power of this knowledge of music theory. So we're going to do a 2 chord from the C major scale. And then we're going to go into an altered chord. Like we're going to switch this chord up. We're going to take every other note here, flatten that boy. And then we're going to go into our favorite, which is the dominant ninth. This is my personal favorite chord. We're going to do what's called a substitution here. So we're not using the G. We're actually substituting it. And then we're going to alter this chord. And then we're going to move into our C major 9 chord. Let's hit Alt S to strum this out so it feels more melodic. And then we're going to put the G on top. All right, and then we're going to just switch it up on the second half, but we're still going to retain this vibe. Make sure we hit Alt G to separate those notes. So what everybody skips, and this is what I teach in the course, everybody wants to make better melodies, but they skip over chords. If you want to make better melodies, you have to understand harmony and chords, because chords, you could break them apart to make melody. And that's where most melody concepts come from. And we're going to add stuff. So right now we're doing the 1 layer. There's 4 layers to melody: the top line, the harmony layer, the contrast layer, and the rhythm section. Right now we're doing the harmony section, which is very melodic. Now let's do the same thing, but let's switch it up. Let's land in a relative key here. Let's do, where's our minor ninth? Where's it at? Here it is, minor ninth. And let's go to A. All right, and then let's do the same dominant ninth chord, but this time we're gonna start at E. We might substitute it, it depends on the chord voicing here. And let's hit Alt G, sharpen that 5 and 9th. If this sounds like a foreign language, I will break down this foreign language for you. Firstly, you guys want to start with Music Theory Essentials at busyworksbeats.com/music theory essentials. That's the foundation for everything I teach. Once you understand the concepts of scales, modes, melodic phrasing and all that type of stuff, then you move into melody mastery. Okay, so melody mastery is the next step up. And then let's make it a minor ninth chord from here. Let's raise the second to make this a little more tense. I feel like that's more of a completing phrase, so I'm going to move that to the right. Let's start chromatically and then let's move over. I feel like this is, with this type of song, my ear kind of wants to hear the same thing, but instead, I'm trying to think of a clever way we can go from. All right, let's just add this tone here, this 5th. And my ear wants to hear, duh. So let's solve this here. We're gonna take the tonic, the 5th, and the 9th, because they're all 7 semitones away, and let's sharpen that. Usually I flatten in minor, but let's hear. Lower some of these bass velocities so it's not too bass heavy. We could also try raising some notes. There we go. Okay, so now we have the middle section, like the body complete, which is the harmony. Now let's add the top line. The easiest way to add top line is take all the top notes and just copy it up an octave, because this is what the ear is listening to. Now we're gonna add like little stuff in between. Okay, so I cover this in Melody Mastery at busyworksbeats.com/melody mastery. So now we're gonna do little melodic stuff to make this more expressive. Now here, I want the ear to get used to this tone, so we're gonna do a walk up. We're using chromaticism right now for those wondering. So this little doo-doo-doo is tying the ear and getting it ready to go out of key to a different key. So to thicken it up a little bit, because it doesn't have as much weight, we're gonna copy it, pull it down an octave, because that leads into that top tone, D. And now we can add like a little expressive glissando somewhere in here. Like, let's get the timing right. Now we're gonna just change the velocities here. All right, I'm gonna turn down the top velocities. They're a little aggressive. So we're using these neighboring tones. Let's pull these together. Now for this, I'm debating if I want to go up or down. Let's do a substitution. We're just revoicing this chord here. So this chord can be voiced many different ways. It's just really about how you guys feel about the voicing. All right, now let's change the key. We can hit shift up, shift down to change this key. And another technique is to use the octaves here. Usually if I'm going to go to a higher octave, I'll slide the higher octave a little to the right. Like right here, if I have a little phrase, I'll pull that up an octave, hit Alt, left click, drag it a little to the right, so it goes like bring. We have so many like altered chords, I forget where we even landed here. So for this chord progression, we don't necessarily need that second chord. Let's see what it sounds like without that chromatic. Now it's kind of missing that rhythm. So I'm going to leave it in, but let's just hear it with and without that walk down. And again, I will guide you guys through this step by step in the actual melody mastery course. Here, I'm just trying to show you guys the power of chords and understanding music theory. Like this complex looking thing came out of really simple concepts. We're using, let me count all the concepts. We have 1 concept, 2 concepts, 3 concepts. I'd say 4 concepts gives you this complex structure here. right, let's move it into a higher octave. It's a little low. Once you guys understand harmony, you'll know which color notes to add to your melody. Now this is a technique I would use sparingly, but let's try strummerizing the sound. It does take away some of the timing. I like the effect, but it does take away some of the timing. So what we'll do is, I don't want to waste you guys' time, but I do want to show you what strumming the notes will sound like. It will sound more R&B because that glissando technique is what they do in that genre. So I'll strum the notes to the right, but then we need to correct some of the MIDI. So because the second half is a little more melodically timed, we're going to take off that top line just to show you guys how chords can sound like a melody. Now let's play this twice through. Look at this composition we just created using 4 concepts. So once you narrow it down to like concepts, it won't be as complex. That is the magic, guys. So learn more at busyworksbeats.com/melody mastery. I cover counter melodies, counterpoint, the stuff I just showed you, and I explain every single step and why we do it. So go to busyworksbeats.com/melody mastery for the new Melody Master course. Peace out, guys.